Landed in Hawaii, let's go. What's up, beautiful people? My name's David Falar. This is my first travel vlog video thing. In this video, I'm gonna teach you guys a few things. First and foremost, what do you need to do before you get on your airplane to Hawaii? Secondly, I'm gonna show you a bunch of cool videos that I took there myself. I went alone. And third, I am going to show you where I went and what I did and what you should do if you decide to go to Hawaii. I actually had a coworker of mine who went through this process, so I got a bunch of tips and tricks before I went, which was super helpful because I'm pretty sure I would have, maybe I'd still be in Hawaii because I probably would have had to self-quarantine for 14 days. The really important thing is you need a COVID test, a negative test, not a positive test, within 72 hours of your boarding flight to Hawaii. Before you get a negative test, you need to look on your airline's trusted partners or Hawaii's trusted partners to get a negative test. I saw through TikTok and I saw online a lot of people who decided to just go to their normal walk-in place for free, and it wasn't a trusted partner of their airline. I flew Delta Airlines. I had to look on their website. Their trusted partners were like Walgreens and Quest and certain things like that. A bunch of travelers on the island when I got there and I got to talking, this woman went through like 7 different tests because she just couldn't figure it out. How do you go through 7 different tests? I'm sorry, but I just need it shoved up my nose one time. I would highly recommend that you check their availability times 4, 5, 6 days in advance. They've been filling up really quick. I obviously went in December, which was before the holiday season, so I assume that had something to do with it. But you should really be checking like every hour, every 2 hours. Like I mentioned, I had a coworker who's done this before. He told me to look 4 days in advance and at the 24-hour rapid test. The 72-hour one, you're really risking it because if you don't get it within the 72 hours, you're quarantining for 14 days. And personally, I'm not one to spend $250 a night, although on an island, which would be cool. I don't have that kind of money. Outside of the negative test, you also need to go to travel.hawaii.gov. You're gonna then fill out a bunch of information, where you live, where you're staying, all this other stuff, and you need to submit your negative test 24 hours before you land in the island. You can't submit this until 24 hours. So although you might be getting your test 72 hours before your flight, you can't submit it on the Hawaiian website to receive a QR code. You need this QR code in order to enter the island. If you don't have the QR code, you ain't going on vacation. With that being said, are you ready to go? Boo! We got palm trees, we got sunshine. Let's go. Once on the island, everybody pretty much followed nationwide protocol. I'm speaking on behalf of the Northeast. You wear a mask everywhere. Every Uber in Hawaii requires a mask. Every hotel lobby requires a mask. When you enter a restaurant, it requires a mask. Wear a mask. Now you'll find that even through some of my videos that I'm showcasing you, it was like 50-50 on the beach, I would say. I stayed on Waikiki, which is super nice, super touristy. You're obviously outside, you're in fresh air. There was nobody walking around telling you to put on your mask out in public. Even on the popular streets downtown, although less crowded than normal, I presume, people were like 50-50 about it. I think that has something to do with the low rates in the state. Maybe people were a little bit more comfortable. They know that you're required to be negative in order to enter. I don't know. I tended to wear a mask the entire time. You'll see a video of me pulling my mask down. Whatever. Let me show y'all something. First night after checking in, I just went down to the beach. It was 2 blocks away. I walked around like the main area of Waikiki. Really awesome, and I just sat and I watched the sunset. I grabbed the towel from the hotel. One thing nobody tells you, all hotels in Waikiki are giving you beach towels. Don't pack a beach towel unless you don't, for some reason, trust the hotel towels. I stayed at the Hilton. If I had to do it all over again, I don't know if I would stay there again. It was fine. My concierge guy, what's his name? Josh, my boy Josh. If you stay at the Hilton, Waikiki Beach, go to the concierge when Josh is working. He's the homie. First night, just watched the sunset, hung out. I went to this place, OMG. It was called Oahu Mexican Grill, I think. Really good burrito. Got some tacos, got a margarita. You know, you get it. Getting in that island vibe. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Day 2, what did I do? I talked to my boy Josh at Concierge. You know Josh? Yeah. So he's like, do the boat excursion. It's probably the best bang for your buck. It was $160. It goes up and down the left side of Oahu. You have to get there by car from Waikiki though. So you can either Uber for like $60 or you can rent a car for $50. It cost me, I think it was like $54 for the day. You do have to park it overnight. So you got to consider that. There is free parking around the area. Regardless, I rented the car, went there. This is now Friday morning when I was there. Picked up my car. You do have to wait. You got to build in this time, people. Don't just expect you to get keys immediately and you're off and on your way. You don't want to be late for the boat either. This is the first time I actually understood the impacts, or it really hit me. Maybe I'm naive or whatever. But the first time that I encountered how much COVID has impacted like a travel state like Hawaii. The boat excursion, people were mentioning that they usually have like 45 guests on board, and they had 10 in my group. So everybody was able to social distance. They followed all the precautions. They cleaned everything, hand sanitizer. They even gave us pills to not be nauseous on the boat. So I thought that was really nice. Guaranteed dolphin sighting, so who doesn't want to see some motherfucking dolphins? Snorkeling, saw some tortoises, saw about 4 of them swimming along. Beautiful people, Raphael, Michelangelo, Leonardo, DiCaprio, you get it. Then afterwards, that pretty much took up until like 3:30, 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I actually asked the people on the boat for a recommendation of a beach to watch the sunset around there because it would take another hour to get back to Waikiki. And so I just hung out on the beach. My second full day, I was told to hike Diamond Head. It just opened that Thursday, so this is Saturday now. So thankfully it was open again for the public. It's not like a true hike. You're not like gonna die. It's not like out of these excursions of Hawaii where they're like the stairway to heaven or whatever. That's not it. It was a super cool hike. It took about an hour. I actually walked from downtown Waikiki to it, which took some time, extra time, but I'm also one that likes to explore on foot. I'm not a big fan of taking an Uber somewhere if I don't have to. The hike was really nice. The views were amazing. You get some cool photography shots. You get some cool videos. You get some cool selfies. When on my way back down, descending the mountain, or the crater, I should say, I actually ran into two people that I met on my boat excursion the previous day. Wow. What are the chances of that? Super small world, right? So I ran into them. They're like, what are you doing? I'm like, I don't know what I'm doing. I'm just here by myself, just hanging out, having myself a good time. They're like, why don't you join us? We're doing this thing called the blowhole. I'm like, I don't know what that is, but that sounds awesome. I know where your mind's at. It's not that type of blowhole. It's like this little mini kind of beach, really cool waves, really crashing waves. Amazing spot, to be honest. Would highly recommend for people to Google it. It comes up if you Google blowhole Honolulu. So do that. Day 3 now, on Sunday, I booked a surfing lesson through my boy Josh at Concierge. He's like, well, seeing as you're here by yourself, I'm not going to push you the people, the companies that they tell me to. Hit my boy up, Sam, text him. I'm like, cool. I'm going to text this random guy. He's hopefully going to give me this lesson. He said that if I offered to pay in cash, I might be able to get a discount. This is where I ran into the second time where you really feel the impacts of COVID on a travel place. So I walked over. It took about 45 minutes to walk to the surf location. Sam was awesome. Lo and behold, Sam actually knew somebody I graduated college with in my class from Rhode Island. Super small world yet again. We hit it off. He's an amazing instructor. Would highly recommend. If you're interested, I will gladly pass along his company. I paid in cash. I did a private surf lesson. They don't do public surf or group surf lessons due to the restrictions, but the private lesson was awesome because you really get a one-on-one feel. You really get some good instruction. Really amazing vibes learning how to surf. Surfing is wild. Let me explain it in 5 seconds. You paddle really fucking hard for like 50 strokes each arm, and then you're expected to do a burpee on a moving surfboard, and then you ride. It is wild. And anyway, because I paid cash, he obviously gave me a discount versus what their normal price is. But then, he starts talking and he's like, yeah, I used to do 25, 30 lessons a week. Now I'm down to 5, 6, 7 a week. And when somebody tells you that, it really just pulls at you. And I'm very fortunate where I'm able to go to a place like Hawaii by myself during a pandemic. And I just really felt that. And so I ended up giving Sam a little bit more. After the surf lesson, walked back to the hotel, grabbed some food, and I then Ubered over to the Pearl Harbor Memorial. I Ubered over, cost $20 from Waikiki. The Pearl Harbor Memorial entire area was really very nice. It's clearly well managed, maintained. They have the museums inside. Really not crowded due to specific times. But basically, I did the $8. It was also really inexpensive, which I thought was amazing too. You get an audio headset and they basically guides you through the museums. You then get on a boat and it transfers you over to the USS Arizona, which was sunk in the attack on Pearl Harbor, but you still see certain aspects of the ship, and you stay on the memorial for like 30 minutes until the next boat comes. Then after that, I got back to the hotel, and this was my last night, obviously, and I wanted to spend it just watching the sunset again. I've personally, in 29 years, never watched the sunset every single night. Just never had the opportunity to, so I definitely did that again. And it was awesome. The sunsets on Waikiki around Honolulu are just superb, as you can see in my videos. Then Monday morning comes and my flight is around 2 p.m. I booked through Delta, so they had somebody picking me up at 11. Gave me plenty of time. I spent the morning on the beach again, just hanging out, watching the surfers surf and doing their thing. When you leave the island, I didn't experience any coronavirus precautions or tests or mandates or anything like that. I simply showed up to an airport like anywhere else. The one thing I would caution people is none of the restaurants are open, and it was lunch hour, and the only thing open in the entire airport was Burger King, and there was a massive line. I would recommend pack some stuff or buy something once you get there, because it's a nightmare. The other thing to consider when flying and traveling during this time is that airlines do not offer meals. At least Delta didn't. I guess two versions. They give you a snack pack with a water that's sealed off. Then they offered like a box of like a hummus plate or something like that. It's really not enough food to get you by if you're interested in like a full meal, and they don't offer it, so you can't do that. That's it for me, folks. This wraps up my first travel vlog. If you're interested, click the follow, subscribe thingy. I've been to 30 countries in my lifetime. I've traveled a ton. I've never done a travel vlog. And so from here on out, I plan on doing that. And I also have a podcast that comes up every once in a while. So check it out if you're interested. Thanks. Peace.